Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. Today we are going to see same topic, that is electronic spreadsheet. Under electronic spreadsheet we are going to see the following subtopics, that is speeding up data entry. So when you are typing formula or any functions, built-in functions, how we can copy those formulas or functions to the other cells in a simplest way, that is in a fastest way we can copy that formulas to the other cells that we will see. And referencing. So in which way we can refer the addresses of the other cells or cell addresses, how it can be referred by the formulas or the functions which are used in the previous cells, how it can be referred by the other cells. Under that we are going to have three types of referencing, that is relative referencing, mixed referencing and absolute referencing. And then last topic is creation of charts using our spreadsheets. So in a spreadsheet, how we can insert the chart for the entered data. So entered any data if you have entered. So for that, how we can represent or insert a chart, that we will see today. So with these three topics, we are going to end up with the electronic spreadsheet entire lesson. So first topic is speeding up data entry. The most important ability of a spreadsheet is to drag and drop the contents of one cell to another by using a mouse. So this is the important facility which is there in the spreadsheet. So we can able to do the drag and drop of the contents of one cell. The one cell content can be moved to other cells and be copied to the other cells with the help of the mouse. So LibreOffice Calc, it includes several other tools for automating input. That means automatically we can give the input and then especially of a repetitive task. So with the help of a repetitive task, we can able to give the inputs automatic way. So for that we will see some examples in a later slides. They include the fill tool. So whichever tools we are using for giving the automatic input is using fill tool, and then selection lists, and then the ability to input information into the multiple sheets of the same document. So here we can use this sheet menu and then fill cells to in order to fill up the series. So like 10 if you are entering 10 and 20, if you are entering in the first two cells, then up to which number you want to enter the remaining cell values, that you need to give under fill series. If you click on this fill series, it will open fill series dialog box. In that it will automatically give the starting value, that is 10, because we have already entered 10 and 20 in the first two cells. So the last value we need to enter, that is end value we need to enter, and then incremental value it will automatically calculate with the help of this two values, that is 10 is the starting value and 20 is the next value. So automatically it will calculate this fill series option. It will automatically calculate the interval between the 10 and 20, that is 10. 10 is the interval. So what is the difference between 20 and 10? 10. So 10 is the interval here. So automatically the interval value will be calculated in that box. It will be displayed in that box. So only thing is we need to enter the end value, and also we need to select the cells up to which cell we want to enter the values. All the cells we need to select along with the empty cells we need to select here in order to fill the remaining series. So for that, this sheet menu, then fill cells, and then fill series, it is there in LibreOffice Calc. This option is there in LibreOffice Calc. So you can use this in order to speed up the data entry. So the Calc fill handle tool is used to fill the next cells till you drag it with the next predefined value. So that is next up to next end value we can drag the remaining cell contents. So for example, if you want to fill the numbers in sequence, that is 1, 2 and 3, or days of the week like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or month name like January, February, we can enter the first two values. Compulsorily we need to enter the first two values. Then select them and drag to the next cells till you wish to continue the series in a sequence. So for number series, type the numbers 1 and 2 in a 2 consecutive cells, that is 2 continuous cells. As I said before, 2 continuous cells only we need to enter the values, that is H1 if you are entering first value, then immediately in H2 we need to enter the next value. That is either in horizontal way or vertical way. Here we have entered in a vertical way. If you are entering in horizontal way also, we can use this fill series option. So in a 2 consecutive cells, that is continuous cells, we are typing the first two numbers and then select them using a mouse. Click on the right down corner. So we need to click on this right down corner. So like this you will get a one small triangle will appear. If you consider Microsoft Excel software, there is a Microsoft spreadsheet, that plus symbol will appear. So we have studied like autofill handle, but here we are using the name fill handle tool. So right down corner the selected cells, you need to click on, hold down the first button of the mouse, and then that is left button of the mouse we need to hold down, and then drag downward till you want to continue as shown in the figure. So up to which cell you want to have the values. For example, if you want to have only 10 numbers, so you need to drag up to the value which you are going to obtain as a 10. Okay, so up to that you need to drag. So like that we can make use of this fill handle, that is small triangle which is appearing at the right corner of the cell. Okay, selected cell, we'll have this small triangle. By clicking and dragging that the help of the mouse, we can speed up the data entry, that is remaining cell values. We can fill it in the easiest way, in the fastest way. So here you can get a series on different interval. So here we have seen example, the interval between the 1 and 2 is 1 only, that is 2 minus 1 is 1 and 3 minus 2 is 1. So interval is for every number interval is 1. So like that we can enter the odd numbers also, even numbers also. So here you can get a series on different interval also by giving the difference between the two consecutive cell values and drag them. For example, to draw odd number series, type 1 in the first cell and 3 in the next cell, then drag them to fill the odd number series. Likewise, even number also, we can first type 2 and then next type 4, and then you can click and drag, or by using this right corner, that is right down corner, we can click on this small triangle and we can drag it to remaining cells in order to get the even numbers also. So if you wish to apply the same formula to the number of cells, next thing is copying a formula. Till now we have seen how to copy or generate the number series. Okay, so like in the same way we can apply the formula. The same concept can be applied to the formula also. If you wish to apply the same formula to the number of cells in the rows wise or in a column wise, you need not to enter the formula again in each cell. So no need to type the formula again. The formula can be copied. It saves time and efforts in case of long and complex formula when you are typing, and it reduces the chances of errors. So when you are typing again, you may do a spelling mistake or some mistakes you can make. So it is going to save our time and also the effort. So the effort what we are taking for typing, that also can be reduced here by copying the formula. So how we can copy the formula? With the help of copy paste commands also we can copy the formula. So for that we need to select the cell and copy the contents of the selected cell. We need to use Ctrl+C in order to copy the contents, and then select the cell to which the formula to be pasted. So in which cell you want to paste that formula, you need to select that cell again. Then paste the contents in the selected cells. For that you need to use the Ctrl+V. Ctrl and V key you need to press simultaneously. Next is fill handle of a cell. The small black square in the bottom right corner of the selected cell or range is called a fill handle. So what is meant by fill handle? The small black square, see here we have seen the small black square which is appearing at the bottom right corner. This is bottom right corner of the selected cell is only known as, okay, bottom right corner of the selected cell or range is called a fill handle. So the uses of fill handle for copying formula. So select the cell which contains the formula, click the small black square in the bottom right corner of the selected cell, drag the fill handle up to the required cell. So up to required cell, up to which cell you want to copy that formula, up to that you can drag that fill handle. Next topic is referencing. Okay, so what is meant by referencing? Referencing is the way to refer the formula or a function from one cell to another cell along the row or column. So along row wise or column wise we can refer the formula or function from one to another cell. So there are three types of referencing. First one is relative referencing, then second mixed referencing and absolute referencing. So till now, so far many examples we have seen. So in those examples and all, relative referencing only maximum or most probably is used. When you drag any formula in any row or in column in any direction, the formula gets copied in the new cell with a relative reference. Almost all spreadsheet applications use relative referencing by default. So all the spreadsheet applications will use which referencing by default? Relative referencing by default. See here one example is given. Here the total of all the items no is going to be calculated. That is total price we need to calculate here for every item. So here item name and then price and then quantity is given. So 20 quantities, 20 pencils. For 20 pencils, each pencil price is 4. So 20 into 4 we'll get an answer as 80. For that we are applying a formula equal to C2, which cell having the price of the pencil, C2. See here C2, we should not write 2C and 2D. Okay, so always we should start writing cell address. We should write the cell address. First should be column letter and second only should be row number. So C2 multiplication symbol, that is star, and D2. Okay, so like that you need to enter the formula in order to get the total price of that first item. So second item and third item and all, no need to type the formula on your own. For that only we have learnt how to use a autofill handle or copy and paste commands. So with the help of those commands we can copy the same formula in the other cell, copy and paste the same formulas in the other upcoming cells. So here row column wise, that is vertically downwards, all the formulas are going to be copied to the other cells, and here in a horizontal way also, that is horizontally we can copy the formulas to the, that is functions, to the other cells. So here formula is copied to the other cells, here function is copied to the other cells. Sum is the function name. Okay, so equal to sum of D2 colon D6, that is from D2 to D6 the values are going to be added here, and here E2 to E6 the values are going to be added here. Actually see here D2 to D6 and E2 to E6 the values are going to be added here. Okay, so here we have used relative referencing. See, after applying this relative referencing we are getting the answer like this. Okay, so when we drag the formula downwards in column wise, see here we have applied this formula downwards. So when we are when the formula is going to be copied to downwards to the other cells, only the row number is going to be changed. So column letters are same only. In every formula, no, column letters are not changed, only row number is going to be changed. So vertically when you are copying the formula to the other cells, in that case only row number is going to be changed, that is incremented, added by 1. Okay, in the same way horizontally when you are copying the formula to the other cell, same formula only copied here, sum of D2 colon D6, that formula only applied here, copied here. But here if you consider horizontally, if you are copying the formulas or functions from one cell to another cell, column letter only is going to be changed, that is next column letter is going to be displayed here in the next cell. Okay, so from D to E it is changed, 2 and 6 are not changed. So when we are copying the formula or functions in a horizontal way, column letters are going to be changed, but here in a vertical wise, if you are applying that copying the formula to the other cells, row number are going to be added by 1. Okay, so from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, like that it is changed. So you need to remember clearly here in a relative referencing, column wise, that is vertically, if you are incrementing, copying the formulas to the other cells, row numbers are going to be changed as 1. Okay, added by 1. And here horizontally, if you are copying the formulas or functions to the other cells, column letters are going to be changed. Okay, so row numbers are fixed here. So when we drag the formula downwards in columns, the row number of the cell address gets 1 added. In the same way, when you drag the formula horizontally from left to right column, the column name of the cell address is added onto the next column letter. So from D to E it was changed. So in figure 4.34, if you check, no, in cell E2 the formula C2 star D2 has been used to calculate the total price of the pencil. In cell D7 the formula equal to sum of D2 colon D6 has been used to calculate the total quantity of all the items. Now drag the formula from cell E2 to E6 vertically. So the same formula here, E2 to E6 vertically is going to be copied here, and horizontally the sum of D2 colon D6 is going to be copied in a horizontal way. See, now drag the formula from cell E2 to E6 vertically and from cell D7 to D8 horizontally. in figure 4.34 you can observe that the formula in cell E3 to E6 is changed as C3 star D3 and E4 will be having C4 star D4, like that it will be copied to the other cells. The row numbers have got added by 1 while column names are constant here. As you drag the formula from cell D7 to E7, the formula gets changed from, that is, sum of E2 colon E6 to D2 colon D6. See here, column names get changed and while row numbers will remain constant, that is same. So here you need to note one thing, that is to see the formula after dragging as shown in the figure 4.34. So if you want to see the formula whether it is applied correctly or not, we can go to menu, that is view menu, and in that view menu you need to click on show formula option. Show formula option you need to click for checking whether the formula is applied correctly or not. So next is mixed referencing. As we have seen, when we drag the formula, row number or column name get changed in relative reference. Row number or column letter is going to be changed in the relative referencing. We can consider the same sheets which is prepared in figure 4.36 with the following changes. That means here we are going to add only that is J1, no, under J1 cell we are going to give grand total. Okay, grand total we are going to calculate for every student. Okay, so here total is calculated, total marks of every student is calculated with the help of the relative referencing, and here also relative referencing only is used. And now we are going to see mixed referencing. That means either row letter row number will be constant or column letter will be constant, like that we will see one example here. If you look at this example, grand total formula what we have typed in cell J2 is equal to H2 plus C14, that is C14 is having the constant value. This value is need to be added with all the students total marks. See, with the total mark we need to give 20 as a grace mark. For every student we need to give 20 as a grace mark. But here if you see from the other cells, no, that is next cell, cell J3 onwards, instead of C14 it is actually taken as relative referencing way, that is C15, C16. So vertically when you are copying the same formula again using relative referencing method, row numbers and all going to be updated here. So this will not give the correct answer because C15, C16, C17 and all will not have the value 20. So this formula will not give any effect when you are typing the form, when you are using the relative referencing method. So in mixed referencing we are going to use one symbol, that is dollar symbol in front of the row number, because that is only constant. 14 only constant, 14 should not be changed as 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and all. So we need to use dollar symbol in front of the row number. Okay, so make a new column, that is GR, grand total, in cell J1 as shown in the figure 4.37, that is previous figure. Type grace marks 20 in cell C14. We have seen that cell C14 20 is typed. Now calculate the grand total of marks in cell J2 by typing the formula equal to H2 plus C14. Now drag the formula vertically. So vertically we need to drag the formula. Vertically we are dragging the formula. So from top to bottom vertical. So top to bottom we need to drag the formula. So and check if the grace marks are added for all the students or not. So how to check it? You need to go to view menu and show formula. If you give means the formula will get displayed. Okay. So with that we can check whether the formula is updated correctly to the other cells or not. So the result shows that only in cell J2 20 marks are added with no other changes. Other cells and all not having the changes in the other cells. So with the help of the answer we can find out, and we can use this view and show formula also in order to show what exactly the calc did in this case as shown in figure 4.37. So in this case, a cell address H2 changes from H3 to H11. So in same way the cell address C14 also changed from C15 to C23. But C15 and C23 we don't have any value, no value in the cells, these cells. So the result in the cells J3 to J11 are not affected. That means the same total value only will be present. C15 value will be considered as 0 and up to C23 it is considered as 0 only. So no changes are there in the remaining cells from J3 to J11 in a grand total. So to calculate the grand total of all students, modify the formula in J2. keeping the address cell C14 as constant. So how to keep that C14 as constant? Because in mixed referencing, the dollar sign is used before the row number or column name to make it constant. Here 14 should not be changed, so we need to place the dollar symbol in front of 14 like this. Okay, so this is the change in the formula in order to get the mixed referencing formula. So here only either column letter will be having the dollar symbol in front or row number will be having the dollar symbol in front. Here row value only should not get changed because only in C14 we have the value. So $14 only we need to enter formula. That is correct formula should be entered like H2 plus $14 and drag it downward from cell J2 to J11. Now you can see the result, correct result from J2 to J11. All the total marks of students will be added with 20 grace marks. Okay, now you can get the correct answer after applying that formula, that is $14. Okay, so in this mixed referencing in which one cell address name is variable and another cell address is constant. So here C14, if you take in this case, C is a changed one, that is variable one, and 14 is a fixed one. So like that, one variable will be constant, one variable will be changing one, that is variable one. So like that we will have a variables in a mixed referencing. Next one, in this activity the row number has been kept constant. The column name can also be kept constant by using dollar sign before column name, that is as $C14. So if you want to make the column name to be constant, we can use the dollar symbol in front of C, and then 14, 15, 16 like that it will be changed. So here row number will be like a variable. Okay, when you are dragging the formula in a horizontal way. So horizontally if you are dragging the formula, you can give this formula like this, the $C14. Okay, column will be constant here. See here, $14 we have changed. So after applying the correct formula, we can get the correct result. Next one, absolute referencing, that is fixed. Both the row number and column letter is going to be fixed. For that also we are going to use the dollar symbol is used before the column name, that is column letter, as well as the row number to make it constant in any formula. So in mixed referencing, either row number or column letter only will be having the dollar symbol. One will be variable, one will be constant. In absolute referencing, in a cell address, both the column letter and row number will be having the dollar symbol in front. So that is the difference between absolute referencing and mixed referencing. Okay, so here you can see the example $C and $12, $D and $5. So in front of both column letter and row number we have included the dollar symbol. So if you even if you drag your formula in any direction, the cell name remains constant only. So that is in a horizontal way or vertical way, whichever way you are dragging the formula, the cell name will be constant. Okay, so this type of referencing is used in higher classes only. So what are the rules we have for referencing? So here examples are given. If you have the cell address as A1, you need to identify what is the type of cell address. So it's a relative reference. The type of reference is relative reference. If you see $A1, so here column letter alone is having the dollar symbol and one is not having. So one is a variable and A is a constant. So like this, either one is having dollar symbol in front, that is the type of mixed referencing. Column letter is absolute, that is column letter. Here it is fixed one. So here also it's a number is fixed one. So row number is absolute. Column letter is changing. So that is mixed reference. Then both column letter and row number is having dollar symbol in front. That is called absolute reference. No changes in the that is a constant cell address. A1 will be constant for all the entire formulas. Next is creation of charts using spreadsheets. So that is how to insert the chart in the spreadsheet. This is easy way to insert the chart in the spreadsheet. Okay, so it is not easy to understand or compare, then analyze or present data when they are represented as numbers. So when we see in a tabular format, any data which we are seeing in a tabular format, like a huge number of data or numbers are entered in one particular table, it's very difficult to identify or compare the values with one value to another value. So in order to easily understand and compare and analyze, we can go for the chart. Okay, chart representation, that is pictorial representation of data is only known as charts. Okay, so but when data are presented in the form of charts or in a picture format, they become an effective tool to communicate. So easily everyone will understand that. Okay, so let us learn how the spreadsheet applications are used for this purpose. There are various types of charts are given below. See, these are the types of charts are there in the LibreOffice Calc. So column chart, bar chart, line chart. So what is the purpose of this column chart? Comparing the classes of data items in a group. That is a group of data items, more than two columns or two rows, no? Like that you can compare. So group comparison purpose, we can go for this column chart. Bar chart also group comparison only. Line chart also group comparison only. Then pie chart, comparing classes of data items as a percentage, like a percentage value. One circle will be there in a, for pie chart. No, pie chart is going to be represented in the form of circle, so that the circle is going to be splitted as divisions, small divisions, that is known as percentage. Okay, next one is XY scatter chart. Okay, that is for comparing only two pair values, that is pair of values. Okay, comparing two values, we can go for this XY scatter chart. Okay, so how to create the chart using spreadsheet? So let us use the worksheet below to create a column chart. So for creating column chart, we need to follow the following steps. First, we need to select the range of data. So for example, if you typed the cell values like this, no, range of data we need to select. That is, what is the range here? From A22, A22 or A32, where the data are present, from there only you need to select. So from A3 to E6, A3 to E6, we need to select the range. Okay, range of data. After selection only we need to go and insert the chart. Okay, so select the range of data, that is A1 to F7 they have chosen, and insert chart. You need to go to insert menu and then chart option you need to choose. Select the type of chart. Here we are going to include the chart type as column chart. So select the column chart, click on finish. Okay, chart will be displayed like this for the given table. So given data, range of data, chart will be created like this. This is the column chart example. So here we can give the title for the column chart also, and the legends. These are called legends, small boxes. No, this indicates the data series in a different way. That is, uniquely we can identify a data series in a with the help of the legend. Legend is a box. It is used to identify the data series in a unique way. Okay, so how it is identifying in a unique way? Because with the help of the different colors we can identify each data series. These this rectangular, each rectangular boxes represents data series. Okay, so first student, second student, third student and fourth student. So first student, if you see first ninth class, if you consider, under ninth class we have Hindi 22 mark and English 42 and Maths 32. So like that we have the marks. Okay, so like this we can represent the values, that is range of data, with the help of the column chart. Okay, thank you. With this your spreadsheet lesson is getting over. So you go through the topics one more time. Whatever topics till now we have covered related to spreadsheet, go through once again, go through the videos again and then understand properly and then do practical. If you have LibreOffice Calc software in your laptop, you can do practice based on these videos. Thank you, students.